Now honestly, growing up, I thought everyone's dream was to get into any Ivy League school they could, like Harvard, Cambridge, Princeton, and then I grew up and realized the probability of getting into any of those schools is slim unless you're literally a kid genius that is so well-rounded that you're not only your school's chess champion, you are also their star quarterback. Not me. That's not me. Now, Harvard University was founded way back in 1636, making it the oldest university in the United States. With such a long history, there are plenty of creepy stories surrounding the place, which honestly doesn't surprise me at all. What is up, you guys? Hope you're having an awesome day. I'm your host, Ayman Hassan, and welcome back to another video. Now, if you didn't get into Harvard, it is all good, you guys, because we can all just cry at home and listen to me talk about the top 10 scary Harvard urban legends. We didn't want to go anyway. Starting us off at number 10 is John Harvard's statue. A statue of John Harvard, a benefactor whom the school was named after, sits right in the middle of Harvard Yard. But however, the person depicted is not actually John Harvard, it's a random Harvard student. Honestly, the utter disrespect of that, it's like when they unveiled that statue of Ronaldo and it looked like Ronaldo's butt-ugly half-brother. Now, the imposter situation occurred because there are no pictures of John Harvard and nobody knows what he actually looked like. So, in a bit of a pickle, the sculptor just chose a good-looking young man to use as his model for the statue instead. Imagine John could have been an ugly guy, but now everyone thinks he's not. And also, bonus fact, if you've seen The Social Network, then you'll already know this one because they mentioned it. Woohoo! Coming in at number 9 is the body. Even Harvard, with all its prestige, cannot escape being a murder site. Back in 1849, a janitor at Harvard Medical School was working his shift when he discovered a dismembered and partially burned body in the Holden Chapel. The Holden Chapel was where medical students used to dissect cadavers, which made the suspect that much harder to find. Interestingly enough, the body was that of George Parkman, a well-known doctor and philanthropist in Boston. A Harvard chemistry and geology professor named John White Webster ended up being convicted of the murder and was later hanged. The utter scandal of that! Why is this story not on the front page of the website or in the admissions emails? Those are the kind of facts I need to know before choosing my future university. Not that you're in Ivy League. How many people were murdered on your campus, buddy? At number 8 are the messages. Harvard University has around 70 libraries on its campus, but there's one specific one that students tend to avoid or gravitate towards if the supernatural is your thing. Harvard has a slate tablet that supposedly has messages from the dead written on it in chalk. One message is from a remorseful minister to a woman, the other from a man named Will to his sister. And honestly, I find this extremely interesting because how do they even know who wrote the messages? And also, it could have been a bored student trying to prank the whole campus. How do we know it's real? Someone please confirm. Let me know. Is it real? Is it not? Am I gonna ever stop doing this? Who knows? Filling at number 7 slot is Memorial Hall. Ghost sightings are plentiful at Harvard, and I mean the school is so damn old, how could there not be ghosts roaming around the grounds? There are even ghosts at U of T, my alma mater, so I feel like this is just not uncommon. Either way, Memorial Hall has been dubbed the campus's most haunted building. It was built to honor Harvard students who fought for the Union during the Civil War, and rumor has it that those ghosts have been spotted looking out of the building's windows and even wandering around its lawn. Some even wearing military uniforms, which adds to the whole horrifying sight of just seeing a ghost in general. Now, at number 6 is the rock. There is a rock that is said to be harvested from a human body, and that's a sentence I thought I'd never say. Harvard has a rock about the size of an avocado that was harvested from a human body. I did not know there was such a huge player in the black market for organs, but I mean, you learn something new every day, don't you? Now, a doctor removed the rock from a soldier in 1871 after the soldier was shot dead at the Battle of Gettysburg. Apparently, the bullet led to the formation of the rock inside his body, which I don't totally get the science behind, but we're just gonna go with it. I wonder if finding the rock is a scavenger hunt activity that first years do during orientation week. I think that'd be a lot more fun and more productive than going to frat parties. Who is with me? No? Okay. Coming in at number 5 are the underground tunnels. Harvard has a network of underground tunnels through which you can access most of the campus's buildings without ever coming to the surface. The tunnels were constructed to carry the university's utility lines, their steam pipes, power cables, and telephone cables, but many students just use them recreationally. And I'm gonna let your mind wander on what all I mean by recreationally. Honestly, those tunnels would have been so clutch in the winter, you'd never have to be cold. Honestly, I wish U of T had that because I froze my ass off for 4 years straight. Fun fact, in 1939, a German spy avoided the FBI by slipping into the tunnels and he actually got away. At number 4 is the president. This one shocked me, so it's gonna shock you too. A Harvard president was involved in the famous Salem witch trials. Can you believe that? Harvard president Increase Mather was involved in the Salem witch trials because he was a prominent member of the community. Though Mather published an essay saying that it was better that 10 witches escaped than one innocent person being convicted and condemned, he still faces criticism, refusing to denounce the trials altogether. And I mean, go figure. The trials were brutal with a crazy lack of evidence, but I mean, back then, any coincidence or activity deemed out of the ordinary could have been evidence of witchcraft. Me being brown would have been evidence of witchcraft, honestly. Filling at number 3 slot is Amy Lowell. Now, if you don't know who she is, don't worry, because neither did I. Amy Lowell was an American poet who posthumously won a Pulitzer Prize back in 1926. She was a pioneer since she was also a lesbian, which meant her poetry was probably very taboo to read back in the day. She was the sister of former Harvard president Abbott Lawrence Lowell, and despite never attending Harvard herself, Amy's ghost supposedly still lingers in the Lowell house, a dorm which was named after her family, which I get. I mean, it was named after her family. She probably feels homey. Ghosts need to feel homey too. Now, at number 2 is pornography. Can you imagine? That is not what I expected from Harvard, but why do I find this so funny? Pornography is kept at Widener Library in something called the X cage. This cage is in the X section, locked behind a wire barricade, known to students simply as the cage. Ooh. Now, the cage contains pornographic and sexually explicit material, which is kept there so the university can protect itself from charges of distributing erotic material to minors. The cage also contains writings that are politically inflammatory and old, brittle books that need protection. I don't get this one. If they put it there so minors can't get their hands on it, why have it at all? Minors can't get their hands on the books if they aren't there and accessible to begin with. And finally, at number 1 are the interactive tours. When I said Harvard was haunted, I was not kidding. You can actually take an interactive tour of all of the haunted locations on Harvard's campus. Apthorpe House, the Steam Tunnels, Cabot House, Eliot House, Holden Chapel, Lowell House, Massachusetts Hall, Memorial Hall, Houghton and Pusey Library, University Hall, and Wadsworth House. A lot of the ones I previously mentioned on the list can be toured virtually, so you don't even have to go to Boston to spectate the supernatural. If you guys do end up trying the tours, let me know what your experience was in the comments below, because I really want to know. And that is it for today's video, guys. Honestly, damn, that was a lot to take in. I didn't know Harvard was as haunted as it was, but I mean, I'm pleasantly surprised, but not truly surprised. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments below. Let me know if you attended Harvard, and a slow clap for you, my friend. As always, I'm your host, Ayman Hassan, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.